For me, so I can understand whether you're an Israelite or a heathen.
Because that's an invention of a paper.
It's not an invention of paper.
I belong to the human race. Same as you.
Nice and brief, isn't it? Well, okay, since you want to cut it down short like that, I'm going to cut it down short to you like this. If you're not on this sign here, or on that sign there, if you're not an Israelite, you're going into slavery when who the world calls Jesus Christ comes down.
Come on.
Straight up.
Really?
Straight up, because
That's not
That's not-
even a touch of racism, is it?
well, who the world calls, okay, get me Deuteronomy. He wants to talk about racism. Get me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Yeah.
What does racism mean? What does it mean to be
It's
racist?
an invented word.
Huh?
It's an invented word.
Right, of course it is.
It's only one race.
No, what does racist mean?
It's only one race.
Oh, it's impossible. When you go to the definition, right. But to be racist means to be for your race. That's all it means. When if the bus driver's so-called black guy and he stops in front of you, that's racism, but it works in your benefit. If you're there, hold on. If the driver, and this happens in Ilford and where they're from, if he's Asian and you'd be waiting at the bus stop long, and he was stopped halfway up there for another Asian person, he was racist because he was for his race. That's what that means. That's what they do. It's instinctive. Do you see what I'm saying? So we say, oh, no one's racist. Everyone's racist. It's instinctive. Because right, that's what it means. It means to stick up for your own race. Right, but when we do it now, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's why, our enemies broke down the scripture, love thine enemy, wrong. Get me Jeremiah 17 and 4, because these scriptures, our people don't get the fact that, this was taken away from us because we didn't follow the laws. We didn't follow the laws of our God, so we went into captivity. That's why it says in Baruch 4 and 6. Read Baruch 4 and 6. You gotta get them fast. Get them fast, man.
There's no proof of it.
Proof of what?
Of any captivity.
There's no proof of any captivity. Okay.
You say no, he wasn't in
No, don't get mad about that because the Most High will do with him. You see what I'm saying? That's how they get mad. Let him. Look, if a man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta read that. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. This is what the churches. Excuse me. This is what the churches are supposed to be teaching the Negro Hispanics and the Americans and West Africans. This is what they're supposed to be teaching. Go on. Come on. This is what Pastor Chris is supposed to be reading. Yeah? Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. Right. So when they say, oh well, Caucasians came and civilized us, which is ridiculous because down here we've got scriptures and it proves that we ruled Europe. It's called, the Caucasians call it Byzantine Empire, which means backward. Yeah, Moors, but even up to the royal family. You see what I'm saying? You know the term blue blood?
Yeah.
That's not talking about the recessive iris. Because a girl in college, she told me that dark-skinned people have a blue undertone, which goes back to the bloodline.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So when it's talking about blue blood, even the Germans called our people blue-in men. Because of their complexion, they have a blue undertone, which is what? So when it's talking about blue-blooded, it's talking about the undertone, so those are dark-skinned people.
Yeah.
They weren't Caucasians. So those people that are so-called royal family, they're imposters. They're not even the royal family, the true royal family. Go on. Also here in this book, Slavery in the Arab World, it shows you where the first slave ships, they left from Europe. People still don't understand that Britain had a big hand in slavery also, but they keep quiet and let America take the fall for it. They just keep quiet about it. You can see here, Bristol, Liverpool, Glasgow, first slave ships left from there. Who was ruling the United Kingdom? King James. Yeah? You know about Queen Charlotte? Yeah, I got a picture on my phone of Queen Charlotte. She's a light-skinned woman, curly hair. But they won't show you that. We had coins with our own face on it. That's why they have writing on it, Jacobite and I serve. That's why they get it on the 20p, on the 5p. Right, that's the term Jacobite. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. But they won't, it should say Israelite, it shouldn't say Jacobite, like the Jacobite Wars. That's what happened before 1819. We were fighting against them. And we lost that war. Immediately after we lost the war, they put us in slavery. There was no dispensation of time. Do you see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they just left from Europe and came and got us. They were fighting against us in Europe and deported us from our country. The first slave ships left from Portugal and Europe.
So what about in the Americas? Were they already black people?
Yeah, because they're our brothers. The so-called Native American, as you can see on the sign here, we've got the southern tribe and the northern tribe, yeah? So the southern tribe would be the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. Like the Haitians would be like the so-called Levites. I mean, the Haitians would be the Levites, like say Lil Wayne, for instance, Rick Ross. Yeah, Fuji's, Wycliffe Jean. He's a Levite. Yeah, Benjamites would be like Mavado, Gully Pop. Who's the guy? What's his name? Vibes Cartel. Them man, they're Benjamite. Judah would be like, say, yeah, but and then the southern tribes, they're our brothers. It's mixed. I've got a book called But at the end of the day, it's alright. It's alright. But in the world called Jesus Christ said, what? Suffer the little children to come unto me. He wasn't an effeminate man. He wasn't an effeminate man. How these Christians push it. Like their father's around, isn't it? He's an austere man, but he's what? He's merciful because they're his children. Like when you see a lion with his cubs, a lion is a ferocious creature. But what? With his children, it's merciful. That's what our people think that who the world called Jesus Christ is a passive and effeminate man. Get me, get me the real Jesus. Get me, what is it? Is it Luke? No, Matthew 19:27. Those that are my enemies that were not, that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. They don't teach that in the church. That shows you, right, that shows you how serious, right, that shows how serious who the world called Jesus Christ is. You got me that one? 19:27. Matthew's 19:27. Those my enemies that were not, that I should reign over them. Alright, look in Luke.
Basically, what we're talking about here.
This is Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. So that's talking about the heathen nations, alright? The Caucasian man, the Indian man, the Arab man, Chinese, Japanese man, and the Hamitic Africans, not the West Africans. That's our enemies, according to the Bible, as it says in Psalms 83 and 3. And Israelites that are trying to do their own thing in their own doctrine. Because if you're not following these laws, you're an enemy of who the world calls Jesus Christ. As much as you claim that, oh, Jesus is Lord, you're doing your own thing. You see what I'm saying? So you're his enemy. Go on. Come on. Bring them hither and slay them before me. Bring them here and slay them in front of my face.
And that was written in red.
And that's written in red. My Bible, it's in red. Who the world calls Jesus Christ said that. He's a serious man. Right, that was a straight up command. He's a serious guy. And that's how they pacify who the world calls Jesus Christ in the churches, because they know that our people are spiritual, but they're off the rail. Like these Edomites, they couldn't destroy the spirit. All they could was put it off the rails. But the Most High's not dealing with everyone anyway, as it says in Romans 11 and 7. But Israel have not obtained that which they seek it for, but only the election have obtained it, and the rest of the Israelites were blinded. So 2/3 of our own people are going to get put to death when the destruction comes. You see what I'm saying? It's very serious out here. You know? Go on.
I'm going to walk here.
Do you want the YouTube channel?
If we don't belong to that tribe, that imaginary tribe, we will end up slaves. And that's by bloodline. Yeah, and God will be
Okay, go on. Huh? There was 2 Jesuses. Yeah, there is. There's the fake white one, and there's the real black one. Let's get that down. Let's break that down. Go on.
The way I heard it.
Let's break down the fake one first. Go on.
The way I heard it.
No. I don't know what doctrine. That must be Egyptology. Get me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 15. We're going to break down the fake white Jesus, which is actually Cesare Borgia from the Borgia family. Have you got it, yeah? Go on. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning. Go on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, Pope Alexander the VI of Rome, right down there on the side, it's all there, black and white, all different colours. You see what I'm saying? You'd have to be a fool. No, you see what I'm saying? Go on. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away, alright, this is Cesare Borgia, Life and Times of Cesare Borgia, who our people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. This man, which is a paedophile and incest ridden, he died of, what is it, syphilis or hepatitis at 32? That's Cesare Borgia, that's what they teach in the churches. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, apparently, when it comes out that he's black, well, why does colour matter? Why does colour matter? If it mattered so much, why did you whitewash his image? Don't worry about that, let's finish this. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away. Well, that's the express image down there, go on. now honoured him as a god, which was then a dead man. Right, Cesare Borgia, because what? In Catholicism, people worship the Pope. They call him Father. Yet the Bible says you should call no other man Father but me. You see what I'm saying? And where is it? Where does it say in the Bible to kiss the ring? Nowhere in the Bible it talks about kissing the Pope's ring. Go on. Now honoured him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Right, because if the Pope, obviously back then Christianity, when it was created in by what's the guy's name, Constantine, by the Council of Nicaea, Christianity had a lot of power. So basically the church is over the monarchy. So the church dictated to the monarchy. You see what I'm saying? So read that again. Whatever the king worshipped, you had to worship, because that's what the church was pushing back then. Go on. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made the image of his child soon taken away, now honoured him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifice. Right, so the people that are under the king at that time that were worshipping Cesare Borgia, alright, that's what they had to worship. Go on. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom growing strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. Right, graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. Okay, which is a Cesare Borgia. Go on. Who men could not honour in presence because they dwelt far off. Right, because back then they didn't have the internet. They didn't have that technology that they have now. Go on. Took the counterfeit of his visage from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honoured to the end that by this their forwardness, that they might flatter him that was absent as if he was present. Right, so that's that image there, which is just the headpiece, is the express image, and that down there in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, that's the complete image. With him, he got his arms out and his long hair, effeminate hair. Go on. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition. Right, the singular diligence of the artificer helped set the ignorant to more superstition. The artificer is who? Go on, read it. Come on, this is Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. I'll read Leonardo da Vinci first. Contemporary to Cesare Borgia, during Italian Renaissance era, helped as an artist to whitewash biblical images. Right, he helped to whitewash biblical images, as it says in Maccabees. They open up the book of the law. You read that one, go on, man. It says it out of the Bible. That's why it was taken out. That's why these are called the Apocrypha, which means hidden. Go on. First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law. The book of the law is the Bible. Go on. And wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. Right, and that's what they did in the Renaissance, which is iconoclasm. Right? Go on. Leonardo da Vinci helped as an artist to whitewash biblical images by a method called iconoclasm. And iconoclasm, icon is image, and clasm means destruction. That's what they were doing when they were whitewashing our images. Go on. During Italian Renaissance era. Renaissance means rebirth in French. Okay? Which means the return of the Roman Empire, as it says in Revelations 20 and 2, the dragon shall be released once more to deceive the world. They deceived the world by putting up that white fake Jesus. Go on. And Michelangelo, contemporary to Cesare Borgia during Italian Renaissance era, an artist that helped in whitewashing origin biblical images during the Italian Renaissance era. Right, and that's why Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo are praised so much and put so far in history books and this and that. Go on, in your art lessons and all that. Yeah, even with they say Vincent van Gogh, but it's always Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Alright, go on. For he, peradventure willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. Right, so him willing to please one in authority, which was Pope Alexander VI of Rome, forced all his skill to make the best fashion. That's why he got him down here with his arms out and a halo around his head, or a little heart in his chest. Go on, to whitewash the images. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, the multitude allured by the grace of the work, because it looks glorious, go on, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god which was little yet, but with honoured as a man. Right, they now took him for a god which was little more honoured as a man. Alright, Cesare Borgia, your fake white Jesus, go on. And this was an occasion to deceive the world. Right, that was the occasion to deceive the world. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They cover the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? Go on. Come on. And this was an occasion to deceive the world. For men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks. Right, and that's what happened. Men serving either calamity or tyranny, which is slavery, did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name, which was Jesus H. Christ. Because when you Negroes, Hispanics and them Americans came off the slave ships, you were speaking Hebrew. So that Cesare Borgia, that Jesus Christ was incommunicable. You couldn't understand Greek. Go on. Can't. And we know that. Why? Because there's songs like Kumbaya, my Lord. My Lord is English, Kumbaya is Hebrew. Okay? But our people don't understand that. They don't understand when they first go off the station, they were speaking Hebrew. It's only throughout the younger generations, when they split up the families, they was teaching the children whatever they taught them. So if someone had a child and I took the child and they're not with their parents, they're not going to learn the heritage, are they? They're not going to understand the heritage. That's why it says Jeremiah 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right, because they rejected knowledge. Our people rejected knowledge, but also our people are destroyed through today. Because today we don't know the name of our father. We don't know our heritage. We don't even know who we are. We call ourselves black, Asianic black people, yeah, or African American, calling yourself Jamaican, right? And that's why in this last captivity that you're in, the Most High is only given his name to select men. Because back in the day, the Most High kept you Negro Hispanics and Americans and West Africans. You knew the name of the Most High. So every time you screwed about, you used to call him the name. I'm not going to use the name because the Bible says don't use the name in vain. You used to always call on him and he would save you. But in this last captivity, when these Arabs and these Caucasians are doing slavery, that gave me Jeremiah 7:14, you shall discontinue from the heritage which the Most High gave you. That's why you weren't able to call upon the name and you had to suffer that captivity for this long. Because a lot of you don't know the name. The Most High has deliberately done it to take away his name so you actually have to suffer this captivity. Okay? That's why you keep calling on Jesus this and that. If Jesus was the name, you should have been saved by now. You see what I'm saying? But what Jesus is, the name, the good ship Jesus was the first slave ship that left from Portugal. So that's where the name Jesus came from. Alright? Do a little bit of history. Go on. Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 4. Is it 17 verse 4? I said 17. Go on, 17, man. 17 verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from that heritage that I gave thee. Right, so the Most High had us discontinue from our heritage that he gave the Negroes, Hispanics, and Americans and West Africans. Alright? And that scripture destroys them fake Jews over there in the land today. It's impossible for them to be the people of the Most High. One, because they're Caucasian, and the Most High is not dealing with the nation of Edom, we're going to get that out of the Bible. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And two, the Bible says that the Most High's people are going to be under curses, which shall be a sign to show who the Most High's people actually are. You go and read the curses in Deuteronomy, and you look at the people and who these curses apply to, and that shows you who the Most High's people actually are. It's that simple. Go on. Oh, that's why in the churches they won't go into Deuteronomy. There's certain places in the Bible where they cannot teach her. Well, they're told not to teach her. Because the churches are told what to teach and what not to teach. To keep you Israelites dumbfounded and asleep. That's why a lot of you are going to get put to death. We need to get that one. There are many more that perish than them that be saved, man. Have we finished that part? Have we finished that yet? You shall discontinue. We read that, haven't we? Have we read that? Go on, go on. There'll be many more that perish than them which be saved. Okay? And the church is the teaching where everyone's going to be saved. Impossible, man. Go on. No. 15, go on. 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 15. Then have I said before, and now do speak, and will speak of it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. everyone shall be saved. There'll be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. No, my pastor said that everyone's going to be saved. Read that again. 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 15. That there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. That can't be right. Because my pastor said, for God so loved the world, Jesus come and died for everyone. I didn't hear that correctly. Read that one more time. Let's see what the Most High said. Go on. I have said before and now do speak. I said before and I now do speak. Go on. What the Most High saying, go on. God speaks through us as prophets. And we'll speak it also hereafter. Speak it hereafter also. Go on. That there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Can you tell me the definition of the word perish, please? To disintegrate, to die, to basically like devolve. That's it. There'll be many more that are going to get put to death than them that be saved. That's what your churches should be teaching you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and West Africans. If you're a heathen, have a nice day. This isn't for you. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay? But this is for you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and West Africans. Get me Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. Straight is spelled S-T-R-A-I-T. It's not spelled wrong. Alright? That's the straight. When it's spelled like that, it means a place of difficulty. Hard to understand. Okay? Go on.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 7 verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
Enter ye in at the straight gate. Go on.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Wide is the gate, and broad is the way which leadeth to destruction. That's the way it's telling you, God, was it Jesus died for your sins, so now you've got unlimited grace, you can do everything you like. If it's too good to be true, it probably friggin' is. Go on.
And come one, come all. I went past the church, I think in South London, I see that. He said, come one, come all. I was thinking, no, it's not come one, come all, because the Heavenly Father, He sent His Son only for the Israelites. Yeah, Matthew 5 and 24 says, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So I don't get how it's come one, come all.
Right, if He was sent for everyone, why did He ignore the woman? Why did He ignore the Canaanite woman? I don't get why He ignored the Canaanite woman if He sent and died for everyone. It would have been pointless for Him to ignore her. And then why would He say to her afterwards, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It is not meet to give the children's bread unto the dogs. That's what He called her, because she's a heathen. You're a heathen. If you're a heathen, you're a dog. We're the world because Jesus Christ called her a dog, because she's a heathen. Go on.
Yeah, basically a dog is like a beast, basically, because if you haven't got the law, statutes, and commandments, which we have, they're basically a beast, because beasts go off instinct, don't they? They do what they feel. They go off their instinct.
Right, that's where they get that doctrine, YOLO, and do as thou will, and do as thou wilt, which is that demonic Alistair Crowley doctrine. Go on.
And this is living. Now, Matthew chapter 15 verse 21. Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon, like the Middle Eastern Africa. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
Right, so this Hamitic African woman, which would have been a South African today, she came to who the world called Jesus Christ, which is a Judite. They're the same complexion. But she asked him to heal her daughter. Go on.
Let's see what he said.
But he answered her not a word. But he answered her not a word. But I thought He died for everyone. But he ignored the Canaanite woman. Go on.
But he answered her not a word. And His disciples came and besought Him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But He answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which is you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans and West Africans. You are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You're going to have to get me Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. But the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction. Thy teacher shall not be hid into a corner anymore, but your eyes shall now see thy teachers. Okay? Go on.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. And now the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction.
Right, and that's you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and West Africans. You're the ones that go through this tribulation, because you're the ones that broke the law of your God. Okay? That's get me Lamentations 2:14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and have not discovered your iniquity to turn away your captivity. That's what the hell Pastor Chris, Benny Hinn, my Murdoch's a Caucasian Edomite. He can't tell you. You understand? Get me that one. Lamentations 2:14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things of thee, and have not shown you your iniquity to turn away your captivity. Which shows what? That means you're still in captivity.